Chosen One, I need you to stay vigilant this Halloween. It might seem like just another festive date, but for beings of light, it's a day where extra caution is necessary. While most people celebrate without understanding what happens on the spiritual plane, the chosen ones, who carry a rare and powerful light, are being hunted. The hunters who seek the light of the chosen ones are souls who, at some point in their existence, lost their own essence and now live in an endless darkness, a hunger that is never satisfied, a constant search for a piece of life that's gone. And for them, this light you emit is a promise, a possibility to fill a void that won't leave them. But to access it, they need you to make a mistake, to feel safe enough to open a passage separating your security from their insatiable intentions. You might sense a sudden discomfort, a presence that can't be seen but seems to scratch the edges of your space, probing for gaps, waiting for a moment of carelessness. For these beings, any space you yield, any tiny opening, is enough for them to attempt infiltration and reach your light. They don't manifest in obvious ways, they whisper in the shadows, manipulate your perceptions, test your focus and confidence. They know an alert mind is almost impenetrable, but they also know the shortcuts of human emotions, moments of doubt and fatigue. Each instant of hesitation is, for them, a chance to cross over and take what only you possess. There's a boundary that divides your safe space from the chaotic universe of these entities, an invisible barrier that seems like a simple door, yet holds immense power over your protection. Keeping this door closed is not merely an act of defense, it's a commitment to your own light, a silent vow that you will not allow your energy to be stolen or tainted by those who know only the void. They don't seek your light to admire it, they want to drain it, to make it fuel for their own fated existence, and you, chosen one, are the only one capable of keeping this barrier intact. The decision to open or not is always yours, but what's at stake is what gives meaning to your journey. These invisible hunters know every vulnerable point of those who carry a light like yours. With skill, they touch your most distant memories, echo familiar voices, and even use your doubts as persuasion tools, knowing they don't need explicit permission, just a moment's hesitation. And that's exactly what they desire, for you to think it's safe, to imagine that nothing can happen. They exploit the moment you let down your guard, that brief instant when you might wonder if all this is just imagination. But it's in those seconds of uncertainty that they have the chance to cross, and if you yield, what was built with so much effort becomes vulnerable, and your light, what you guard so fiercely, may dissipate. Chosen One, the forces watching you are unlike those you encounter in daily life. They are invisible to common eyes, but don't stop probing your light, waiting for the right moment to draw near. During Halloween, when the boundaries between the visible and invisible worlds become thin, they gain more direct access, as if able to touch your essence. Their pressure isn't obvious, often, it manifests as a sense of presence, a sudden chill, or a restlessness you can't ignore. Your role, as the chosen, is to recognize these signs and understand that your light is their target. And in the face of these persistent shadows, the decision to open or not open the door to them determines what will become of this precious light. These entities are patient and cunning, chosen one. They don't knock on the door violently, they whisper, almost imperceptibly, insinuating themselves at the edges of your consciousness, trying to turn any insecurity into an opportunity. They know your weaknesses and understand that Halloween amplifies their chances, as it's during this time that your energy is more exposed, like a glow that cannot be hidden. Knowing this, these forces operate in the shadows, testing every breach, probing your resolve. If you falter, even for a second, they'll gain ground. Opening that door is all they need to invade your space and weaken the essence you cultivate and protect so carefully. Halloween brings with it a type of energy that reverberates throughout the spiritual plane. For the chosen, this means unavoidable exposure, as this night amplifies the attraction power of your light. However, what few realize is that by opening any space to these forces, they begin to infiltrate, taking fragments of what makes you unique. They possess a unique ability to manipulate your perceptions, to make you question your own instincts and doubt what is real. The shadows that inhabit the border between worlds need only a subtle invitation, and they know how to use fear and fascination to convince you to open the door. Keeping the door closed, chosen one, is more than an act of self-protection, It's an affirmation that your light belongs to you and will not be fragmented by those who want to use it for shady purposes. Those who try to steal this light have intentions disguised as promises of power, a false sense of security that, with the slightest oversight, turns into a trap. What they seek is the opportunity to penetrate the deepest parts of your essence, extracting something they don't have and could never generate on their own. Halloween brings them closer, yes, but it's your determination that decides what, in fact, will be allowed near. You are not just an ordinary human. As a chosen one, your energy shines brightly, especially during this period when spiritual boundaries dissolve. And it is this distinction that the hunters understand well, for they know that, once inside your space, once beyond the door, they can touch your light and, little by little, consume what is not theirs. But remember, none of this happens without your permission. They know the value of a moment's hesitation, know how to exploit the seconds when you question yourself, and it is precisely then that they act. Your role, on this night and every night, is to protect what sets you apart, what makes you a chosen, keeping the door as the last line of defense. Chosen one, these forces are not harmless, they feed off any weakness and know how to turn each doubt into a path to get close to your light. On the threshold of your door, they wait patiently, understanding that the power to cross to your side depends solely on a subtle permission. They move like shadows slipping by the corner of your eye, manifesting as a slight pressure in the environment, an almost imperceptible shift in the energy around you. But don't be mistaken, each of their attempts is calculated to exploit the smallest sign of vulnerability. And during this period, more than at any other time, they take advantage of the thin veil dividing the spiritual from the physical, watching your space, waiting for a slip. Each chosen one senses this danger uniquely, but all share the same challenge, to resist the urge to give in to curiosity, to the desire to uncover what lies on the other side. After all, these hunters understand human weaknesses and know how to turn that curiosity into a direct portal to your essence. They watch, test, and know the breaches the mind creates in moments of uncertainty. During this period, especially, they are closer, more agile, waiting for your resolve to become a doubt, even if momentary. And if you open that door, you will be offering what is purest within you to satisfy the thirst of entities that live in shadow. Resisting is not an easy task, chosen one, but it is what keeps you safe. These beings know how the light you carry affects them, how it shines with a strength that drives away the darkness from their empty existences. Each moment you remain steadfast, each time you decide to keep the door closed, you prove that your light is stronger than any attempt of theirs to extinguish what has been cultivated within you. Remember, they want what you have, for it is something they can never produce on their own. And your radiance, especially now, is all they need to find a truce in their shadowy existences. The hunters are persistent, but true strength lies in your ability to control the urge to open the path. They approach through thoughts suggesting an illusory security, manipulating your perceptions until you almost convince yourself the danger isn't real. This is the trap they plan for the chosen ones, leading you into a state of inattention and disbelief, making you think your light is impenetrable by nature. But what they know, and hope you ignore, is that even the greatest of lights fades if used by those who don't value it. And opening that door would be allowing a shadow to penetrate the core of your essence. Chosen one, what you protect is not just a light, it is the essence of who you are, an energy that defines and sustains your purpose. During this period, you bear an even greater responsibility, for keeping this light intact means keeping your spiritual journey safe, out of reach of those who only wish to take. The door is your last line of defense, a sacred boundary between you and those who dwell in darkness. And closing this door is more than an act of self-preservation, it is a conscious choice to preserve the value of your energy, to prevent it from blending with the lack, the emptiness of those who covet it. Do not let them cross this boundary, your essence depends on this decision. These hunters that circle your light, chosen one, are like hungry shadows, driven by an unending need. They roam between spaces, searching for something to fill the endless void in which they live, and your light, at this moment, is the most desired target. They know that only a moment of hesitation, a fraction of a second when you lower your guard, may be enough to open the way. They are not the forces that announce their presence, but those that operate in silence, with a patience that stretches beyond time. Staying vigilant, especially now, is to understand that each moment you resist strengthens your light and weakens their influence over you. This resistance requires more than strength. It requires confidence in your own light, the ability to understand that what you carry is untouchable, as long as you don't allow them to get close. As a chosen one, your journey is marked by constant challenges, but there's a reason why you're the target. They don't seek just any energy source, they crave the purity your essence carries, a force they lack but desperately wish to steal. This is why they try to convince you the danger isn't real, that opening the door will have no consequences. That's the illusion they use, and understanding this is the key to keeping your protection. To those who dwell in shadows, your light represents a possibility, a glimpse of something they will never have. And yet, these hunters know that your power over them endures as long as you have clarity of purpose and the strength to resist the urge to open the way for them. The door, this boundary between your world and theirs, is the only thing blocking their entry, the sole obstacle preventing them from absorbing what you have built with such effort. And this obstacle, however simple it may seem, is your most effective shield, the ultimate protection between your light and the emptiness they carry. The choice to keep the door closed is a powerful affirmation, a commitment that only the chosen ones fully understand. Each time you reaffirm this decision, you strengthen your light and prove to yourself that your journey is guarded by something greater, something they can never reach. These forces know that by gaining access to your light, they could absorb an essence that transcends the material, which is why they try to disguise themselves as harmless thoughts, merely imperceptible signs, hoping you'll invite them in without realizing the cost it will bring. And it is up to you, chosen one, to resist this subtle yet powerful temptation. They are skilled in exploiting human emotions, knowing how to use your temporary weaknesses to seek an entry. This strategy becomes more intense when you are more exposed, as they observe every detail, waiting for the exact moment when your light seems to waver. However, what they cannot understand is that the true strength of the chosen ones lies in the clarity of their mission, in the deep knowledge that protecting this light is ultimately safeguarding the purpose you carry. Your light is more than an energy, it is the proof of who you are, and this value, especially now, is what separates you from the shadows. Chosen one, if you've always felt different, with a unique sensitivity or drawn to greater missions, our ebook is a valuable resource for you. It offers practical insights to help you recognize your true mission as a chosen one and overcome challenges of misunderstanding and isolation. By acquiring the ebook, you also gain exclusive and immediate access to our Discord community, a space where you can share experiences, connect with others who understand what you're going through, and find genuine support in a welcoming environment. Check out the pinned comment below the video to receive something unique and exclusive. Chosen one, you must understand that what you carry is not a simple glow, it is an essence that many will never reach, an energy that crosses the limits of the physical and touches the spiritual. This light, especially during this time, is a magnet for those who have nothing but shadows within. They sense that by approaching, even if only for a brief moment, they might absorb a fragment of what you represent. And thus, their intention is subtle, like a breeze slipping through cracks, an almost imperceptible touch that only those who are alert can perceive. By remaining vigilant, you protect yourself, reinforce the value of what you carry, and reaffirm your commitment to the light that sets you apart from the rest. When these forces approach, do not expect explicit signs. They are cunning, aware that a very strong presence might scare you and strengthen your resistance. Instead, they try to manifest in subtle ways, often using memories or fleeting thoughts as though they were part of your own mind. They know that, to access your light, they need you to accept them, to let them enter naturally, without resistance. And at this point, they try to manipulate you, making you believe they are just harmless memories or passing feelings. But you, chosen one, are wiser than that. You recognize that, to protect your light, you need to remain vigilant, even when everything seems safe. These hunters who lurk in search of your light are not entities without purpose. They carry within them a darkness so dense that it can only be alleviated at the cost of your essence. Over time, these forces have learned to manipulate and adapt, knowing that each chosen one has specific weaknesses that can be exploited. They know what awakens your doubts, what tests your faith, and what might make you question the value of your light. But remember, even in the moment of greatest temptation, you possess the power to keep your essence intact. Your strength lies in the conscious decision to close the door and refuse any entry, keeping safe everything you have spiritually built. Remaining firm is not just a matter of spiritual survival, it is the very essence of the journey of the chosen. These dark forces know the value of what you protect and know that by absorbing your light, they could find a temporary truce from the darkness that corrodes them. This is why they try to persuade you so quietly, almost like a whisper that goes unnoticed. They want you to believe there is no risk, that the door can be opened without consequence. But you know that opening this passage is akin to allowing everything you have built to be lost. For this reason, with each moment you remain firm, you strengthen yourself and reaffirm possession over your own essence. Chosen one, you are not just a source of light, you are a fortress of spiritual resistance, an example of how light can persist even in the face of shadows' temptations. They do not give up, for they know that if they succeed in crossing that door, they could steal something priceless. However, each moment you deny them entry, you demonstrate the depth of your purpose, the strength of your determination, and the unquestionable value of your light. This is your mission, to stay true to what you carry and not allow darkness to lead you astray. Closing that door is an act of courage and a commitment to who you are and the path you have chosen to walk. Chosen one, your light is a living flame, a force that burns with intensity and represents everything of the highest in your essence. It is no coincidence that these shadow hunters crave it so desperately. They see in your energy an opportunity to absorb what they could never generate on their own. But for that, they need you to yield, to allow that light to be fragmented and divided. Standing firm, not opening that door, means protecting every aspect of your energy, ensuring that what makes you unique is not used as fuel for the void they carry with them. The forces observing your light understand the weight of temptation. They know that the desire to explore the unknown is part of the nature of any being. This is precisely what their strategy relies on, offering an empty promise of something that seems extraordinary, but is in reality just a trick to get you to open the door. They hope that, faced with curiosity, you might falter, forgetting that this door is the line that keeps your light protected. Each moment you resist this temptation, chosen one, is a moment when your essence is strengthened, an act that proves you value your own light more than any empty promise. Chosen one, it is necessary for you to understand the power in your decision to keep that door closed. Your choice to resist is an affirmation of your own strength, an act that demonstrates that, even when faced with forces from the shadows, you are able to protect your light. Each chosen one possesses within themselves a unique capacity to resist, a determination that the hunters try to weaken with manipulation and illusions. But you know that this light is the foundation of your existence, and by keeping it safe, you preserve everything it represents. This is not just a decision, it is a commitment to your journey. These hunters, however, are persistent and know the value of your weakness. They know how to exploit the moments when you feel most vulnerable, more inclined to give in. They know that even for a chosen one, there are moments of doubt, and they try to take advantage of this to get closer. But it is precisely in these moments that you need to remember what is at stake, the importance of protecting your light and keeping your essence untouched. Each time you close that door, you reaffirm that, regardless of how challenging the trials may be, your light remains intact, untouched by the influence of shadows. Protecting your light, chosen one, is more than an act of personal preservation, it is the continuity of your journey, the guarantee that you will not be led away from the purpose entrusted to you. Those watching you try to make you forget the value you carry, try to convince you that opening the door is a harmless risk, something that won't bring consequences. But you, who carry this light, know that opening the path to them is giving them the chance to drain your shine. To resist, to remain firm, is to honor the mission that distinguishes you, a mission only the true chosen understand in its depth. Chosen one, your light is like a fortress that illuminates not only your path but also that of those who watch from afar. For these hunters, this light represents a unique opportunity to escape the dark void in which they find themselves. They know your essence is powerful, that each fragment of it carries vital energy that, if absorbed, offers them a chance to dissipate their darkness, if only momentarily. However, they do not understand the cost it would bring to you, for to them, your light is merely a source to be exploited. It is up to you, then, to protect this shine, to understand that its value is priceless and that opening the door would mean losing what makes you special. These shadow hunters move stealthily, chosen one, because they know that your light is capable of destroying them if well protected. They cannot bear the intense shine you carry, and so they avoid direct confrontations. Instead, they approach subtly, manipulating your emotions, trying to find a breach in your determination. But you must remember that your strength is greater than any attempt at manipulation. They are shadows, and shadows can only come close when light hesitates. Each moment you resist is a silent victory, an affirmation that the power of your essence is unbreakable. During the time they attempt to persuade you, you may feel your environment growing heavier, that there's a presence seeming to insist on invading your space. Chosen one, this is the signal that they are near, that your light shines strongly enough to disturb them. This discomfort is not a weakness, it is a reflection of your strength, proof that your light is capable of repelling these shadows. Upon feeling this, you must reaffirm the decision to keep the door closed, for this barrier is what prevents them from approaching you. Your determination is the key that locks the door and keeps danger away. These hunters know the language of fear and doubt, chosen one. They know that by planting the seed of hesitation, they can get closer, even if you don't immediately notice. But remember, your light is what repels this influence. When you remember the purpose you carry, the journey you chose to walk, any attempt of theirs to invade your space loses strength. By reaffirming your confidence, you strengthen the barrier that keeps them from crossing. They want you to forget the value of your light, but each time you keep the door closed, you show that your essence is unwavering. Chosen one, your protection depends on this conviction. These hunters watch, wait, but are limited by their own darkness. They do not have the power to force you to open the door, all they can do is wait for you to make a slip, to open a small gap through which they might pass. Your light, however, is your shield, and this decision to keep it safe is what ensures your defense. At this moment, what is at stake is more than just your energy, it is the continuity of your spiritual mission, the certainty that you will follow your path without allowing shadows to drain the strength within you. Staying firm is an act of power, and you possess this power. The hunters watch and wait patiently, always alert to any sign of weakness, any indication that you might open a breach. They know that by crossing into your space, they would have access to something priceless. However, what they do not understand is that this light cannot be forced to shine for those who do not deserve it. It is protected by your determination, by a strength they do not possess. These hunters are mere shadows, and shadows exist only where light permits. Chosen one, by keeping the door closed, you are not only resisting them but also affirming that your space is sacred and inaccessible. Each time you refuse this entry, each time you choose to protect your essence, the hunters weaken, and your light, on the contrary, intensifies. Resistance is more than a simple defense, it is proof that your journey is guided by a purpose that surpasses any temptation or manipulation. They do not understand the power that resides in your decision to resist, as the darkness they live in prevents them from seeing the value of light. But you know that each time you say no, each time you keep the door closed, you are choosing to protect what is rightfully yours, what belongs solely to you. Staying vigilant is a testament to courage, chosen one, a demonstration that, regardless of the pressure from the shadows, your light will remain intact. These hunters covet this light because they know it possesses a quality they cannot imitate. They know that by absorbing even the smallest fraction of your energy, they would find the temporary relief they seek. However, what they ignore is that this light, when fragmented, loses the strength that makes it special. Your decision to keep that door closed, then, is more than a defense, it is a choice to keep your energy intact and preserved, a decision to honor your own essence. Chosen one, your spiritual journey is surrounded by trials, and this is just another one that requires your attention and willpower. These hunters will continue to wait, continue to watch, but your light, when protected by determination, is unreachable. The door is your final barrier, the line they cannot cross without your permission. The strength you carry within you is enough to repel any external influence as long as you keep your vigilance. Remember, these hunters depend on your weakness to cross. And by choosing to protect your essence, you show that your light is not just a shine, it is the symbol of your power and your journey. These forces lurk in the shadows, aware that, to cross, they need you to waver, to question the value of your own light. They do not possess the power to force their entry, all they can do is wait. But you, chosen one, possess a strength that transcends any attempt at their manipulation. Every moment you keep this barrier, you reaffirm that your light is your fortress, a shield that shadows cannot break. This door is the line between what is yours and what tries to invade, and each time you keep it closed, you demonstrate the depth of your purpose and your spiritual mission. Protecting your light is a conscious choice, an act that demands more than courage. It requires clarity and commitment to what makes you who you are. These hunters, upon witnessing your resistance, understand that no matter how hard they try, your light is not something they can reach without your permission. And even if they continue to try, they know that your energy is unshakable as long as you maintain your determination. The door remains closed, and so your light remains unblemished, preserved against any external influence. This is the true power of the chosen, the ability to keep their essence untouched, even amidst the shadows. Chosen one, you are not alone in this journey. Your light is a symbol of strength, proof that shadows cannot dominate what was meant to shine. By protecting your essence, you not only strengthen yourself but also the purpose of those who walk the same path. These dark forces are persistent, but your light is even more powerful. Each time you reaffirm the value of what you carry, each time you choose not to open that door, you are writing a new chapter in your spiritual journey, a story of resistance and deep commitment to what is most sacred within you. So don't miss the opportunity to join our exclusive community on Discord by purchasing our ebook from the pinned comment link. I'm sure it will be a valuable resource for you. It will not only bring clarity about your mission and unique gifts, but also give you access to connect with other chosen ones who will welcome and support you. Don't miss being part of this environment. This is a crucial moment, and together we can impact many lives. Choose to be part of this mission. If this content has brought clarity and purpose to your journey, leave a like on the button below, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications to stay connected with messages that reinforce your spiritual power. Share this video and leave your thoughts in the comments, strengthening our community with your presence. And remember, this is only part of the chosen secrets. Check out the videos suggested on the screen or explore our playlist to further deepen your spiritual journey. Chosen one, may your light remain strong, protected, and always directed toward your purpose. See you soon in the next video. Until then.